So, what does it really take to power an entire nation? Well, for Japan, a huge piece of that puzzle is a company called INPEX. Today, we're going to crack open their annual report and see what makes this absolute energy giant tick, from its mind-boggling profits to its game plan for a world that's changing fast.
Let's just start with this one number, 2.26 trillion yen. I mean, just look at all those zeros. That was INPEX's total revenue for a recent fiscal year. It's a number so huge, it's honestly kind of hard to wrap your head around.
And this isn't just some number on a spreadsheet, no. This tells you that INPEX is a core economic engine for Japan and a major player on the world stage. It's our first real taste of the massive scale we're dealing with here.
And right away, that single number brings up two massive questions, right? First, where in the world does all that cash come from? And second, in a world that's screaming for a green transition, what's the long-term plan for a company that's built on fossil fuels?
Okay, so let's follow the money. To really get where INPEX is headed, you've got to understand how its oil and gas machine actually works today.
So while INPEX is definitely a big deal in natural gas, the real moneymaker, the undisputed champion, is crude oil. We're talking 1.7 trillion yen. That's more than 3 times what they make from natural gas. Now, keep that in your back pocket, because that oil engine, it's what pays for everything else the company wants to do.
So how do you measure the long-term health of a company like this? Well, a lot of it comes down to this key idea called proved reserves. You can think of it as their inventory for the future. It's the amount of oil and gas they're pretty certain they can get out of the ground with today's tech and at today's prices. It's really a snapshot of their future value.
And when you look at where these reserves are, you start to see a very clear strategy playing out. Their natural gas, it's overwhelmingly concentrated pretty close to home, in Australia and Southeast Asia. But their oil, the big moneymaker, that's in Europe and, maybe most importantly, in Abu Dhabi. This is no accident. It's a very deliberate way to spread their bets across the globe.
But here's the thing. This massive globe-spanning operation, it's not happening in a bubble. Like every other big energy company today, INPEX is caught right in the middle of a huge global challenge, the energy trilemma.
You've got this incredible tension, right? On one side, you have global instability and growing economies, meaning the world needs a stable, reliable supply of energy. But on the other side, you've got the climate crisis, demanding we move away from the very things that provide that energy. It's a real conflict.
And INPEX knows this. They even have a name for it in their annual report. They call it the S+3E model. That's safety plus the 3 E's, energy security, economic efficiency, and the environment. It's their own way of saying, yeah, we're juggling all 4 of these things at once, and it's all about finding the right balance.
So, okay, that's the problem. How are they officially planning to solve this trilemma? Let's take a look at their blueprint for the future. Their grand plan is called INPEX Vision 2035, and it boils down to 3 big moves. First, push natural gas as a cleaner bridge fuel to get us from here to there. Second, invest big in 5 net zero businesses like hydrogen and carbon capture. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, they're going to double down on their core oil and gas business to generate the cash to pay for the first 2.
Now, they have a big headline goal, a 60% cut in greenhouse gas emissions intensity by 2035. And that word intensity is everything here. It means they're not necessarily cutting total emissions, but they are aiming to reduce the emissions for each unit of energy they produce. It's a key part of their plan to grow the business while also making it cleaner.
So we've seen the money, we've seen the strategy, but there's another layer to this whole story. Something really unique about how INPEX is structured that you don't see with a lot of other global giants.
You look at who owns this company, and you expect to see, the usual big banks and investment funds. But nope, the single biggest shareholder with over 23% of the stock is the Japanese government itself, through the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry.
But the government's power doesn't stop there, not even close. They hold this one special thing. It's officially a Class A share, or Koshuri Kabushiki. But pretty much everyone knows it by another name, a golden share. And this one piece of paper,
it has incredible power. This one single share gives the government the right to say no to some of the biggest decisions a company could possibly make. We're talking about everything from hiring or firing directors to selling off major assets or merging with another company. It's the ultimate trump card, and it directly links INPX's business decisions to Japan's national security.
All right, so we've looked at the money, the climate strategy, and that wild government connection. What does it all add up to? What's the bottom line here? What does the road ahead really look like for them?
At the end of the day, INPEX is walking this incredible tightrope. It's trying to serve three different masters at the same time: shareholders who want profits from that oil engine, a government that demands energy security for the nation, and a planet that's demanding a green future. And the biggest question of all isn't just for INPEX, it's for the entire industry. Is it even possible to keep all three of them happy at once?